it's not always necessary or even possible to obtain monetary value of these benefits. But regardless, I think it's important to lift them up and describe them as best as we could in quantitative or qualitative ways. And some people have a problem with the fact, and I understand it, that we value certain environmental goods. But we have to remember that valuation will always be done. Even if it's not directly, it's implicitly by the decisions we make within politics. That we say that, well, we're going to build this road or harbor regardless of the impact. Then they have made an implicit valuation of that impact. So it's always done in the decision making, whether we put monetary value or not on it. So total economic value framework. Now we become a little technical here. Total economic value, not total ecosystem service value. That's bigger than this, and that's something we definitely can't estimate. But total economic value, and it's taking a standpoint from us as human beings and our welfare. And we distinct between use values and non-use values. Well, what are use values? Well, direct use values, well, we get fishes from the ocean. If the ocean isn't healthy, we might get less fish. Or the fish we get is full of toxics, so we can't eat. So it's a direct use. Whale watching, they're able to go out on a boat and watch the whales, is also another direct use value. Then we have the indirect use, often measured in terms of different ecosystem services. That water bodies are capable of doing some nutrition cycle for us. There's habitats that is supported for the fishes, etc. Climate regulation of forests. Those are directive use values. Then we have option values, uncertain, unplanned future use. Like, I haven't been to a certain national park in Sweden called Sarek, or what is this called? Tyresta. Yeah, but I have a value for having an option that it's still there, so I can go there maybe 10 years from now, or 20 years. So even if I don't use it now, if I don't go out fishing or whale watching, I want to have the option to be able to do so in the future. And that's an option value. Sometimes they put in something called quasi-option values. And that has to do with when you don't know the effects of certain things. When you don't know the impacts of a mining industry. There might be value to wait 10 years before you have more information, before you decide whether to mine or not. But those are all the use values. And then we have the non-use values that you can divide into three areas. Existence values, knowledge of continued existence of the source. I might not count on ever seeing a blue whale in the wild, but I still value that they are out there. I might not ever visit Antarctic, but I still value that it's unexploited and not destroyed or exploited. That's an existence value. And in some cases those can be very important. Also we have altruistic values. The knowledge that someone else can use this resource. Maybe if I'm not using it, the knowledge that people in another country has access to a good water quality. Or the bequest values with similar, but that is about knowledge that my children, my grandchildren will be able to go out and see whales in the wild or visit the national park. This is what fits into what we call total economic value. Any questions? Well, I can add it. I mean, if you think in terms of markets, and you value everything on markets or GDP or growth, this is the only thing it captures. Because A lot of these do not exist on markets, and therefore we have a tendency to put a zero value on it.
Good question.
Yep.
What about non-use values? As you see that the framework regards total economical risk. What about